Hi, good morning, AP Stat students. Hope you're doing well today. I hope that you got a chance to enjoy a nice weekend and spend some time with the mothers in your life. And I hope you're ready for these next 2 weeks. For some of you, it's going to be a pretty intense time if you have a number of AP tests coming up. But I'm sure you're going to do great. And I hope I can help you whatever way I can to prepare. So um, just a couple of reminders. Today, you should be uploading, if you haven't already, the last part of the StatsMedic Review course, Unit 7. There should have been 2 FRQs. Also, the FRQ that we did last Thursday, Friday in the Zoom meeting, you should have uploaded that to Google Classroom. If you haven't, please do that today. And I will be grading those today or tomorrow, and I'll give you some feedback on those. Also, just as a reminder from last week where there were some things that you were supposed to have done, not necessarily turned in, but make sure that you have done them. These 3 summaries, again, I would highly recommend that you print them and feel free to add to them as you're going. The applet here, if you didn't practice that yet, I highly recommend that you do that to give you some good practice in determining which type of inference procedure you should be using, especially when you're doing the difference between a matched pairs or a difference of means. Sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. So the more practice you get with that, the better you're going to get at it. Also, if you haven't yet done so, watch this video about getting ready for that AP test and practicing the demo. Please be really comfortable with how to upload your work before you get to the test. And just a reminder, the AP Stat test, it's the very last one on May 22nd. That's not this Friday, the following Friday at 11 a.m. So the plan for this week is that you're going to be just doing a bunch of practice of FRQ. So remember, the exam this year is going to have 2 questions. Question 1 is a 25-minute question, and question 2 is a 15-minute question. So the question 2 is going to be similar-ish to a number of the FRQs that you've done before, because most of them are designed to be done in 15 minutes. So we're going to do a little bit more practice with the 25-minute question than the 15-minute question. So a number of teachers who've been teaching AP Stat for a very long time and have been readers for the AP Stat exam, and also have written a bunch of textbooks. Some very smart people who know a lot about AP Stat have written some practice problems for this exam. These are not people who work for the College Board. They don't have any insider information. They are just doing it based on their experience with working with AP Stat for a long period of time, the types of questions they think are going to be asked and the types of responses that you're going to need to give. So I've compiled some of the best ones that I think for you to do. So they're linked on this slide, and each question, there's 3 different problems for question 1, and then there's a link to the solution, and then the 2 authors of a book that we've actually been using a lot this year. It's not our assigned book, but we've been doing a lot of work from it. They did some virtual office hours with Texas Instruments, and they hosted this webinar, and this is a link to the video where they talk about this problem and the solutions. So you don't have to watch this video, but I think it's really helpful. They give you a lot of insights about the types of things that you want to be looking for. So in the parentheses here are the minute timers for where they're going to go over this particular question. There's a lot of other information in there. You're welcome to watch the whole thing, but you really don't need to. Just to kind of focus your time a little bit, you can just go forward to the minute timer of when that solution would start. So they did 2 during this one webinar on April 9th, and then they did a 3rd one on April 22nd. So you're going to do those 3 questions. This question here is actually a mock question that has been put out by the College Board. And it's a kind of a practice question for question 2. Here's a solution and rubric for that, and there's no video solution for this one. So you're going to do those, and you're going to upload them to Google Classroom by next Monday. And then also I would like you to do a mock exam. So this is an exam of basically a question 1 and a question 2. And I want you to do it kind of in exam conditions with the same materials you would have for your exam. time yourself so that you have 25 minutes for question 1 and then stop. And then you're going to do 15 minutes for question 2 and then stop. If you don't finish the 2 questions in those 2 times, you can go back and finish them later. But as you're doing all of them, even these ones up here, really time yourself and see how long it's taking you to do these questions. On the actual exam day, if you don't get to finish a question, it's really not the end of the world, but you really want to try and pace yourself so that you can at least get almost all of it done. So the mock exam, I'm going to have you submit that to Google Classroom. I'm not going to provide you solutions with that one. I'm going to give you feedback. So really try and do this totally under exam conditions without help from anybody else, so you can get some legitimate good feedback about where you are. And I will give you that feedback as soon as possible next week, hopefully on Tuesday. And then this week and next week, there's going to be no scheduled Zoom meetings just because of all the AP exams. There's going to be too many conflicts. And so I'm not going to have any Zoom meetings this week or next week, but I'm always available if you wanted to do a one-on-one Zoom meeting, or if you and a group of people wanted to talk about something, you are more than welcome. So please reach out if you want some help, but I don't want to add additional stress to your week. And then reminder again, there are these optional videos from the College Board, which again, I think they're really good, but I'm not assigning them. But if you feel like you want, and you have some time and you want to do some extra work, this is a really good resource. So if you scroll down here, there's going to be, they've made a lot of videos from March all the way through until last week. The part that I would focus on is really this very last part at the bottom, which is the AP Prep Week. So again, these are 2 very smart people who have been teaching AP Stat for a long time, have a lot of experience. They created 2 mock exams. So the first day is the actual mock exam, and you could do it along with them. They time it for you and everything. And there's the PDF and of the question, and then the next day they go over that full solution. And then this is another mock exam that they made, same thing, and then the next day they go over the solution. So definitely between this week and next, I would highly recommend that you try and find some time to do those 2 additional mock exams. Like I said before, next week, I'm not going to have any assigned work. I'm going to make it really flexible for you to do whatever you feel you need to do to prepare for the exam. But my high recommendation is for you to try and at least do these 2 mock exams. There's also a number of other teachers out there who've created other mock exams. And so I will provide you next week with a whole lot of optional resources that you can do if you want to. But these 2 would be my top suggestions. So if you have time this week and you want to get a head start on that, that would be a great use of time. Just a quick note for anybody who is not taking the AP exam. Next week, I'm going to have an alternative assignment for you to do instead of the exam. It's going to be relatively short, but just so that I can get some feedback for you compared to the other students who are doing the AP exam. All right, I hope you guys are doing well, and please reach out if you need anything. Otherwise, good luck with all of your exams this week, and I look forward to checking it soon. Okay, thanks.